The reason why we have decided, and that is not a SAMENA Telecommunication Council only decisions, but this decision, we came across that decision with the government entities, regulators, and also the leadership of the private sector, is we are witnessing an early adoption of 5G. 5G, we believe, is going to be in the market before deadline, before 2020. Number of operators are getting ready for rolling out the 5G network infrastructure. The big question is, how do we make business out of 5G? What's the business model? And before being in a position to answer this question, we need to have a look on number of impediments for the deployment of 5G. And the first area where we have to identify the impediments is with regard to the regulatory framework. So we need to have that dialogue with regulators, understand the framework, what private sector need from the regulators, and how also the private sector can help government achieve this sustainable and digital development for the benefits of the society by rolling out 5G and having the right regulatory framework. So number one, regulatory issues. Number two, technological roadmap. We also need to have a discussion with the technology provider to understand their value proposition, how 5G could be integrated and deployed with the arrival of the fourth industrial revolution. And once we have addressed the regulatory impediment and technological challenges, the third step is to convene with the other stakeholders of the industry, the road and transport authority, healthcare industry, education industry, because we need to invite all these stakeholders to come together, sit down, promote the benefits of 5G to be able to build the proper business model where telecom operators will be able to have profitability. So this is the idea to, this year for the Leadership Summit, to convene with all the stakeholders, listen to each other, understand, have a sort of stock taking of the market requirements to be able to build the business model. The challenge part is about having the proper understanding of 5G. The good thing is everyone wants to listen to the other and benefits, discuss about the experience. We need stakeholders that can come and benchmark what has been done, which model has been working. I know it's a very early stage when it comes to 5G, but best practices is very important. So we are convening to see and assess the level of understanding that we have about the 5G in terms of requirement and how 5G can benefit the society. We do not want to talk to ourselves in the ICT industry, so we need to extend that dialogue and discussion to the other industries. That's the reason we said it last year in our Leadership Summit, that 5G has to be promoted also to the other sector so we can build together the business cases. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's challenging to convene the same day, especially this meeting is going to be only for one day, but it's not only regional, it's global. We will also have big operators coming, such as AT&T. We have satellite operators, Eutelsat coming from France. We have a number of players that will be coming, and the objective is to share our knowledge, best practices, listen to the others, what has been done in the western part of the world, or what the western part of the world can learn from the Arab region. So that's the main idea behind this summit. Well, last year, if I recall my memory, we have received delegation for more than 29 countries. That only by itself is a very big success. It shows that there is a big interest from the rest of the world to understand and learn what's going on here. We were very proactive last year because we have identified and shed the light on issues such as the spectrum harmonization. This year is very important, 2019, because it's going to be WRC, World Radio Communication Conference in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, where we will be with the ITU taking a number of decisions with regard to this spectrum allocation and harmonization. The agenda was set in 2015, but major outcome will come this year toward the end of the year. So this is the year of WRC 19. Spectrum is extremely important, but in the wake of 5G, the enablement of digital services is also important. We have also highlighted that last year we've been working through our working group with the government and the telecom operators. So we will be coming up with some takeaway. And number three, it's very important to incentivize investment. Last year, one of the key success was also to attract the attention of our government on the taxation and levies issues. And this is something that has been taken into account for the new regulatory framework. And number four, as an example, the spectrum auction in Saudi Arabia that happened last year in December 2018, where I believe the contribution made by the SAMENA Telecommunications Council has been very important and helpful for the Saudi government to be able to have this spectrum auction defined as a success. Now we need to move forward, and we presented in a closed-door meeting the 5G cost modeling also to the government, and hopefully we will come out with some positive outcome. To me, it's mandatory to have outcome. SAMENA Telecommunications Council is not a platform that is just convening people for the sake of convening people. It's a mean to achieve an end. We need this gathering to shed the light on some issues, to have on-site some discussion and dialogue, and as you will see at the end of the summit, there is a special session that will define the outcome of today's summit. So it's very important for us to have some outcome. That takeaway is something that we will be using as a working platform with the different stakeholders, so next year we can report some successes or some new outcome. Well, there are so many things to talk about, but what comes in my mind is connecting the other half, which is a very important subject, not only for the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, but we believe connecting the other 3 billion would be a great opportunity for the telecom companies in terms of business. Therefore, one of the issues that we will be looking at is cyber safety, data regulation and protection. And what I mean by that is child online. We have to create trust for the new generation. We have to make the internet much more safe. By creating that level of trust, we will be having more users, we will be connecting more people. By connecting more people, I believe that will be much more business for the telecom companies. So through the theme of cyber safety and data protection, I believe we are going to have very interesting days ahead of us by getting the other 50% online. So this is something that will be also addressed, and the UAE government has taken step toward that goal by investing a lot on child online and protection. So this is something also that probably during the leadership summit we will be addressing for the first time between the private sector and the government. How can we make internet safer for the new generation?